And also it's scary because I have never followed a sewing pattern, and this is the dark side. The dark side of the moon. I already went wrong times. Oh, fabric. Oh, there is a free video tutorial on YouTube, and I was like, what? And my machine doesn't work. It's not aligning. Look at that! Hi, my name is Maya and welcome to my YouTube channel where I share all my thoughts, process and other random stuff about all things fiber related, but mostly knitting. However, today we are sewing. Today is the 28th of April 2025 and I'm coming to you from the French-speaking part of Switzerland where I live with my gecko. Okay, let's get into it right away. I decided to do something kind of out of the blue. I've been wanting to sew for a long time and I have bought a pattern 2 years ago, I think, and I'm gonna talk about it later. And it's been like this in a tube form for 2 years since I bought it, and I really want to make it, but I can never find the time, and also it's scary because I have never followed a sewing pattern, but I want to. And also I'm gonna... Okay, I need to introduce the pattern. This is the Budelli shorts by Apolline, I think. She's a French maker. The elastic is dead. She's a French sewist maker thing, and yeah, Apolline Patterns short Budelli. I have been wanting to make those shorts for a while. They are very flowy, oversized shorts that almost look like a skirt, a skater style skirt, and if you know me, you know I love those kind of skirts. And I'm going to knit shorts quite quickly, I hope. The yarn is just behind me. I want to knit shorts with this. But before knitting shorts, I would like to sew shorts before. So I figured now was the time to try to do this. And I decided why not film the process. This is completely improvised. I have no preparation whatsoever. I just, yes, sort out my stuff. So I have the clips, I have the things to cut fabric, and then I have the fabric that I'm gonna show later, and I have this guy to cut and a ruler. So yeah, I have kind of everything around me, but I don't know how it's gonna happen, so this is gonna be pretty chaotic, I think. And editing Maya, I'm sorry in advance, it's gonna be pretty difficult to edit, but if I don't launch myself into this, I'm never gonna do it, so let's just try and we will see what happens. I think that's all for the introduction. So let me talk to you about the fabric, which is here in this bag. I went to the fabric shop completely on a whim last week when I realized I maybe would have some time today to film this video, but I didn't have any fabric. So within 10 minutes I made a detour, whatever, a thing to the fabric shop, hoping they would have something because it's a really small fabric shop, but I wanted to support them, so I went there. But they had something absolutely incredible, so I'm gonna show you. But first, I have never sewn again, so I decided to really stick to the fabric recommendations of the pattern because I know I hear it all the time. People try to use different fabrics for a sewing pattern and it absolutely doesn't work out and they end up with unexpected results. I didn't want to take the risk, so she recommends viscose or stuff like that. I'm gonna write it because I don't remember what she said for this design. And no thick fabrics, no like stuff that has a lot of integrity. She recommends something very flowy. So I went with viscose or similar stuff, which there was not a lot in the shop, so yeah, it was a bit difficult to find, but I found something perfect. So let me just get it out of the bag. I bought also the elastic for the elasticated waistband and thread because I'm prepared. And here is the fabric. It's gorgeous! It's so soft! beautiful, and look at that. It's super heavy and drapey, which is exactly what I want. And I wanted very like geometric prints because that's what I love and what I cannot really do with knitting, because if you have big geometric shapes you need big floats if you're doing color work, or intarsia, which I don't want to do. So this was my perfect opportunity to have a big bold print, even though it's not that big, but at least it's bold. And the best thing about this fabric is that if I can find the wrong side, it's reversible, so I can choose the size I prefer. And this brown is beautiful, I really like it. It has kind of a purpley undertone. The lighting is really bad, I'm sorry. And this is the shade of my knitting machine. Sewing machine, yeah. So this is the lighter side of the fabric. Oh, it's beautiful. And this is the dark side. The dark side of the moon. I don't know yet which side I'm gonna use. I'm probably gonna use this side because this would be my comfort zone. But maybe I want to get out of my comfort zone and go for the lighter. I don't know. And I cannot ask you, obviously. So yeah, anyway, I still have a few minutes to decide. I need to tape the A3 pages together so that I get the big thing, and then cut the shapes. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. I don't want to trace out the paper, or maybe I should, because this has been rolled up for so long. It's probably gonna be a nightmare to pin this to the fabric. Oops. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna decide. But what I wanted to say is I'm probably gonna cut right into the paper because this is just A3 paper and I can print A3 pretty easily. So if I want to sew this again, I'm gonna do this 1200 times today. If I want to sew these again, I can just print them again. If I want to make a different size. There's one thing though, is that the shorts don't have pockets, and they really could. However, I think from the picture there are no side seam, so if I want to add pockets, I'm gonna have to add a seam on the side, which means a little bit more manipulations than if I was just adding pockets into an existing seam. And again, I have never sewn a garment, following a pattern, so I don't know how it's gonna go. But yeah, I forgot to tell you something. I've already sewn garments before, but they were completely freestyled. And it's a perfect example of how fearless I am with my projects in general, my crafty projects, because the first garment I have sewn are medieval ball gowns. I think that's how you call them. They are pretty epic. Because years ago, when I was a scout, I have been a scout for 15 years. Did you know that? Yeah, we were doing a lot of theme stuff, and one time we were celebrating the 50 years of the scout group or whatever, and the theme was medieval stuff, and we wanted to do huge gown ball dresses with my friends, so we decided to do them. So a friend of mine, she had a sewing machine and I had the like ability to draw and make stuff out of my head. I drew the dresses. We were 5 girls. I asked each of the girls which kind of dresses they wanted. So one told me she wanted without straps, one wanted the like stuff happening on the on the neckline, and one wanted the corset thing on the front, and another one wanted the big peacock tail. Or yeah, they just told me their wish list, and then I did drawings for everyone, and then we went to the fabric store and we bought the fabric in the colors and shapes and texture they wanted, and then my friend who had a sewing machine and me, we took a whole week and we just sewed together all the dresses, and it was complete chaos because I have never made a garment before. She was like the technical director because she knew how to use the sewing machine, she knew the techniques like doing when you fold the edge, the folded edges. Yeah, she knew the technical stuff. She knew the technical stuff about sewing garments, and I had the ideas and the ability to translate something from my brain into reality. So yeah, it was complete chaos. Basically, we just threw the fabric on the ground and I was like measuring the friend that was gonna wear the gown and deciding, oh yeah, let's just add 2 centimeters of seam allowance. And yes, completely winging it and then just cutting through the super expensive fabric and sewing them all together, and it went well. There were no big issues, and all the dresses fit correctly and they were all super happy. So yeah, I don't know if I'm a genius or if I'm completely dumb to try and tackle such a difficult project without any kind of formation or whatever, but in the end it worked, so I don't care. Yeah, so I think I'm capable of adding pockets into this, but I don't know. I will see. I will also see if I have enough fabric, because I bought, I think for my size, I had to buy 130 meters. Yes, and I think it depends on how wide the fabric is when you buy it, and I have no idea how wide this guy was, so I don't know, maybe I have extra, maybe I don't. So I will have to see if I even have enough to do the pocket linings. Anyway, let's get started by first cutting those guys, and then I will see what I can do. Hi, switching to my phone because my camera ran out of battery and of course I forgot to charge it. And I am filming this for the second time because I forgot to press record. This is going well. This is the very messy side of my apartment. I forgot to make the couch nice, so sorry, but whatever. I already went wrong. I was taping the things together and it was just not aligning correctly. It was like really like 1 centimeter off. And I decided to maybe read the instructions that came with the pattern, and it's very clearly written. Let me show you. Here, I have been aligning the lines by overlapping the excess margin so that the lines would meet under each other in the continuous line. But you're not supposed to do that. You need to align the paper like that and then draw by yourself the missing line between the end here and the start here. Which is why I'm having stuff like that that's actually absolutely not aligned. And I had the same happen here, and I ditched the paper thinking I would just continue the line myself, but I didn't need to do that. It's just that I taped them incorrectly, so I need to start over. Okay, everything is retaped correctly, and I just measured the width of my fabric. It's supposed to be 140 centimeters and it's 135, so it's a little bit too short. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna have enough fabric. Maybe, look at them, they're super cute. Maybe I have, when she cut the fabric, she left me a little bit more. I have like 133, so it's not gonna save me much. I don't know. I'm unsure if I should cut the pieces for one size down. I'm between sizes 38 and 36. And both should have a fabric that's 130 centimeters wide, so same meterage for both. But maybe if I do size 36, it can work better with the fact that I don't have enough width. Or maybe I can get away with size 38. So maybe I cut out size 38, try to make it work, and if it doesn't, I cut it down to size 36. That sounds like a lot of extra work, but I think I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna cut the red lines. Can you see me? Okay. I finished cutting the pieces and I discovered there are pockets in the pattern. They are optional pockets, so you cut them 4 times, and yes, there are seams on the sides, which means it's super easy to add pockets in, but it's already in the pattern, so I don't need to do modification. So this is the back. You cannot really see. This is the back piece, so I will need it twice in each side. And then this is the front. There. Very similar, but I guess they are not exactly the same. Probably in the crotch area. I have no idea what I'm talking about. This is the belt on the front. And this is the belt on the back. 2 times. Oh, fabric 1 time on the fold. Ooh, I just understood something. You're supposed to fold it in half and place the pieces on the folded fabric so that you cut it once and you get 2 pieces out of it. Oh, that's smart! It's probably explained in the pattern, but I didn't read the pattern, so I'm discovering. Okay, so I need to fold this guy, but it's gonna be a bit difficult because, as you can see, it's very, very, like, shapeless. It's drapey, so I'm gonna have to have a lot of weight or pins to, like, have the 2 sides stay together while I cut and manipulate it. I am already, like, my back already hurts. I climbed super hard yesterday and my whole body hurts. And I'm not sure I want to put myself through cutting this on the ground, even though it's the easiest way to be able to move around freely. But I just remembered, I finally... Let me show you. This is my dining room table, and it's like a hardwood surface, but it's like, it's so rough that it's absolutely not flat. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see that. Yeah, it's very, like, the wood is not treated at all, and it's not flat, definitely. And before I put this glass thing on top, it was impossible to do anything on this surface because of how not flat it was. Like, I can almost put my finger through there. So I just bought this glass panel thing to put on top, which makes this table finally usable for crafty things. Now I have a flat surface, but I'm not used to it. And also this guy is just propped up on top of the table, so I need to take it off. But it's on wheels. The table is on wheels, so maybe I can just pull it off of the wall and use it as a flat surface to cut my fabric while being able to go around the table. That would be nice. I can go all the way around the table, which is nice, and I went ahead and I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it, but I clipped together the edge of the fabric so that it wouldn't move too much. This is done and my pattern pieces are there, of course. So this one is the front, and it says droit fil grain line. I don't know which side is the grain line. I guess it's like this, but I don't know. But we'll say it's like this. So I should maybe press it down. I have no idea what I should do. I'm completely lost. Or maybe I should use my blocking mats to pin it down so that it doesn't move. I have no idea. Okay, so grain line like this. Let's just try to put them in and see if it works. This is the back, and maybe I should do it like this. My pattern pieces in the best way I could. I hope I can do something with this middle thing. Can you even see? Maybe I can take you closer. I hope I can do something with this middle guy. We shall see. And so those are on the fold, which is correct, and those are with the right grain line, I think, unless it's in this direction, which I have no idea about. And I think that's all. So I'm gonna try and cut. Now the issue, as I mentioned, is that this fabric is very, very shapeless and drapey, so I can kind of move it how I want. So I hope it's gonna be fine, but also I think this was a great choice for a first sewing pattern, because it really doesn't matter if my sewing and my cuttings are not straight, because it's supposed to have a lot of positive ease and like movement around the body. So if it's not straight, nobody's gonna notice. I'm not too stressed about the result. And yeah, let's get cutting. I ran out of battery again, so we are switching back to my phone. Very chaotic angle. Look at my beautiful ceiling. I really love it. It's not a joke. Now I have finished cutting my pieces. Woo! And I still need to decide if I'm gonna use the black or the brown on the outside. So this one is the back. First one I showed you is the front. And then I have the two sets of pockets. And then I have the belt. Now I started to read the pattern. Good idea, right? And it said that if you are not doing the pockets, you don't need to serger. Is that how you say it? Like do the thing on the side to prevent it from fraying. I don't have a serger, so I cannot do it anyway. I mean, I could do zigzag, but whatever. If you don't do the pockets, you don't need to do that, because we are doing English seams. Is that how they are called? In French, it's couture anglaise, but I'm not sure if you translate that to English seams. If it's not, it's probably going to be written somewhere on the screen. And if you do the pockets, you should serge the sides. So this is the front, I mean the middle, and this is the side, because I guess you cannot do the English seams if there is a pocket going through. So I should serge the sides, but I don't have a serger, as I mentioned. So I could zigzag the edge, and I think I'm gonna do that because my fabric is it's fraying a lot. By the way, I don't know what it is. I think the tag said viscose, but I don't remember what kind of viscose. It was something a little bit different. It's a little bit thicker than just viscose. You're not gonna be able to see, of course, but yeah, it's just not as flowy as plain viscose. I don't know much about fabric, but from those I could touch, this was a little bit thicker. So the decision I need to take now is which side I'm gonna have outside. Let me just take out one of the pockets to show you. And there is a video tutorial for the pattern. I didn't do it. I was just reading through the pattern and it was written, oh, there is a free video tutorial on YouTube. And I was like, what? So I went and saw it, and it's super well made. Like, everything is so clear, so well filmed, so well explained. It's in French. But yeah, I'm not gonna have any trouble doing this pattern. So this is the inside, one side of the fabric. Oh my god, it's really gorgeous. I'm so excited. So, which one should I do? I don't know. This would be different from what I'm used to wear. But this, I really prefer the contrast in this one. It's a lot more striking. This is more like muted. And also I just prefer, it's not exactly black. It's like a very, 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 very deep navy. So the contrast with the brown is beautiful because it's like blue and brown, which is gorgeous. I think I'm gonna go with this one. I just prefer the contrast. So okay, that's decision one. Now I'm gonna go to the sewing machine, and I am going to, the first step I need to do, as I said, is zigzag the sides, and then I'm gonna do the English seam on the, in French it's fourche, fork, I don't know, on this guy here on both the front and the back. Okay, I'm struggling a bit because I tried to zigzag on the side of my fabric, but it's so soft and has so no integrity at all, that it kind of just flopped over while I was trying to stitch. So I tried on another piece of fabric that's a lot more like dense and it's more sturdy. And I tried to do the stitch and it does the same, but I don't really know what I'm supposed to get. Is this normal? Is this what you are hoping to get when you do zigzag stitch to prevent an edge from fraying? It feels a bit bulky. I'm not sure I really want to have this in my pants, but I guess it's necessary if I don't want this to get destroyed over time and wash. I don't know, you're probably gonna tell me after the fact, but yeah, I'm gonna do this and just hope I'm not gonna end up with something disgusting because I cannot stitch straight because the fabric is so soft. We will see. Okay, it's been an hour and my machine doesn't work. It's almost brand new, I haven't used it a ton. I just made a giant quilt, the one that's on the background on my podcast. And it's been working fine, of course, it's almost brand new. And I did 2 edges with the zigzag stitch. Yeah, whatever, it's zigzagged, this one also. And when I started the third one, it just ate the fabric, it got pulled inside and then it was completely stuck, which has happened a few times in the past, so I know what I'm supposed to do. I just use the manual wheel thing, and then I just take out the thread, all of that, clean everything, and then I start over, and usually it works. But then it just gets stuck again and again and again, and whatever I do, it just continues to get stuck. So I discovered this little tool. I don't know, I just found it in the toolkit, and I assumed it was to take out the little screws that held the metal plates in the middle of the sewing area down, so I used it to unscrew the thing, and then I tried looking inside if there was something stuck or whatever, and I couldn't find anything. I just took out a little bit of loose threads that were hanging out, but they didn't seem to be causing any problem. There is a little bit of dust, but there's nothing major, I think. I don't know how it's supposed to look like. And I'm trying again and again, and what I can see when I use the wheel to manually stitch, it's that it's not working smoothly. There is something off in the rhythm. I feel, I don't know what it's supposed to do, but I feel like when the needle goes down and the loop of the bobbin bottom on the bottom does the loop, it doesn't catch on the thread, but it catches on the needle instead, and then it makes a knot, and then the knot tightens up as the needle goes up, and then it gets stuck. And I don't know what to do. Is it possible that the needle got pulled down at some point and it's too low? But I don't think so, because it's not. It seems to be at the normal height when I put it up, so I don't think that's that. I just don't know. I should probably Google it, but I'm so annoyed. It was working fine and then suddenly it doesn't. If it was dust or something, it wouldn't be working from the beginning, right? But there it just stopped working suddenly. So I'll try to pull out the plate again. There, I took this one off, and I don't know what it's supposed to look like. I'm gonna Google it after this, but it's super frustrating. I've been trying to sew for an hour now and it's just not working. I found the issue. I Googled it, and Google didn't help me directly, but I found a video where the lady was explaining how to clean the thing. So I followed the steps, which I had already done half of them. And she also said to remove the little box case thing where the bobbin goes into, and I didn't know you could remove that, so I removed it. And when I placed it back in, I noticed it could like rotate a little bit in the area it goes in. And before it was rotated completely to the left, which was wrong, and which was why it wasn't working. So I placed it correctly, completely on the right, which is what the lady explained in the video, and now it works smoothly. Oh! So I also cleaned it, which probably helped a little bit as well. So now I hope we're good to go. Let's see. Moment of truth. The corner is a little bit destroyed because it got eaten by the machine. Yes, it's a little bit destroyed. So let's hope it's not gonna get even more damaged. Alright. Foot down. Zigzag. Oh, I lost the pedal. Okay, holding the thread. It's getting folded. Okay, I'm not gonna do backstitch, it's gonna get caught. It's working. It's working. Oh, it's working, yeah! Ta-da! Last one done. It's not very straight. It's like waving a bit. The first one I did, I was definitely pulling on both sides while feeding it through. So I noticed it was doing that. And then for the second one, I tried my best to not touch anything. But if I don't pull it on the back, it just goes out of the line. So yeah, I think it's okay, it's gonna be inside anyway. So now I can finally start sewing for good. So I think what I should do is take the two fronts and then the two backs. Yes, two backs. This thing, and sew here on both front and back. So I'll meet you when I do this, hoping the machine doesn't break down in the middle. my phone again. I forgot to press record before with the camera and then she ran out of battery. This is very chaotic, I'm sorry. Anyway, I finished the English seams. Look at that, they almost look like shorts. I love this fabric. Those are indicating which side is front and back because they are very similar, so I put that so that I wouldn't get mixed up. And I'm very proud about my English seams. It's my first time doing that, and I have the little guy hanging out on this side, and on the front there is nothing peeking through. I did a pretty good job, so that's nice. There is just one place here where it's peeking. I don't know if maybe I can put it off. I don't think so. It's okay, it's in the crotch. I don't really mind. So yeah, now I just need to press those seams again, and then I don't know what's the next part. I'm super excited. I love doing this, it's super fun. Into a very predictable issue. So this is my two short pieces, right side against right side, and everything is pinned together, but it's not aligning. I really aligned everything on the top here, so here everything is perfectly level, and then when I get to the bottom I have this difference. And I have the same on the other side. So if I pull this correctly up here and then I follow, I have this difference. I think it's when I cut. I think both on one side and on the other I cut too short and then I cut too long, and it's doing this. Or it's when I zigzagged, but then the zigzagging should cancel each other instead of doing this. So I think it was when I cut. No big deal. When I do the bottom hem, I think I'm just gonna cut off the excess here and just ignore that. I hope it's not gonna be too visible. But then the other issue is that the pockets are not aligned anymore either. It's not too bad on this side, just a little bit, but on the other side I have more of an issue. But again, it's the pocket. It's just that then the seams here inside are not aligned anymore. There is a big difference between the two, and I'm not really sure if that's gonna be visible. I have no idea. Maybe it won't make a difference. I don't know. We will see. I had to stop yesterday night. I did a good progress. I did good progress. Here you go! Look at that! They're almost done! I just put the belt on. I still need to sew the inside of the belt like that to hide the ugly the ugly seams. And then I need to do two seams so that I have 3 channels in the belt so that I can insert the 3 layers of elastic. I hope it makes sense. But the problem is that the belt is not wide enough. She does say in the pattern to be very careful when you sew the belt to the shorts so that you have enough room to put all the elastic in. I guess I wasn't careful enough. So yeah, it's a little too small. So either I buy smaller elastic, those ones are 12 millimeters, so maybe I can find 10 millimeters elastics so that I can put 3, or I just force it through and I hope it doesn't look too bad. I don't know. I'm gonna sew the channels and see what can be done. And I had a little bit of troubles with the pockets because they weren't in the video tutorial, because the video tutorial was only for the shorts without the pockets. And at the end of sewing together the shorts pieces, she said, if you want the video for the pockets, watch this other video tutorial. And I was like, why don't you say it at the beginning? So yeah, I had to do them a little bit by myself. It was fine, it wasn't too complicated. However, if I have one critique to do to the pattern, is that it's very like step by step explained in a clear way. However, the drawings are really approximative. They are like super cute and a little bit modernly stylized or whatever. They are very cute, but not, you just don't understand what's drawn. And for the drawings of the pockets, they're just a blob like that, vaguely shaped like a pocket, but it's not the same shape as the actual piece of fabric you have. And the pocket wasn't symmetrical like the piece of fabric I had, so I didn't know which side I was supposed to put where, because the drawing was absolutely not showing that. So I put it in what I thought was correct, and I think I did it in the wrong side, because now my pockets are slanting. If this is the pocket on the 2 sides, this is slanting towards the outside, so if I put anything in the pocket, it's just gonna slide out. Nothing is staying in there, so I think I put it reversed, because if it was in this direction, it would be slanted towards the inside, and everything I put in the pocket would just fall in the pocket and not out. So that's very annoying, because now I have pockets, but since the fabric is very silky and flowy, nothing stays in the pocket, so it's pretty useless. So the possibility I have is to sew the side. Maybe I should have sewn the bottom side of the pocket. It wasn't drawn, so I didn't do it, but maybe I should have closed the bottom and only left a small opening for my hand. I don't know how I was supposed to do that. I guess I can still do it. So maybe I will. Maybe it's gonna be explained at the end. I don't know. So this is a problem, but I can solve that later. And yeah, other than that, I just have the bottom hem left to do. And it's so cute because I showed this to my boyfriend yesterday and he was like, oh, they're really cute, but are you gonna leave the bottom like this? And I was like, no, of course I'm not. Yeah, that was cute. So yeah, I just have this left to do today, and we'll see. I hope it's not gonna take too long, but I think it shouldn't. We shall see. Let's get started. done. I am so tired, my back hurts so bad, there, I'm super tight. For some reason, everything I did yesterday was super smooth and easy and fun and all just good things, and everything I did today was just pain. Absolute pain. The first seam I did today wasn't good, I had to rip it out, and I spent the whole day with my seam ripper, and yesterday I didn't touch it even once. Yesterday everything was perfect, and today was just not working. So yesterday I did all the easy stuff, I guess, and today I was left with all the fiddly finishes, and yeah, it's just... Anyway, the first thing that went wrong was that the bottom hem here, you can maybe see it's rippling a little bit, because I was pulling quite hard on the fabric to feed it through the machine, and I think I pulled it a little bit too much, and now it does this. I just hope washing can solve it a little bit. I'm not sure. I don't think it's like knitting and you can like block it out. So I think I'm just gonna have a replay bottom effect. Super annoyed. And the seam is like absolutely disgusting, but you cannot really see. The thread I used is the darkest shade of blue I could find, so it matches really well the fabric, so at least there's that. But yeah, if you look too close, it's disgusting. And then I had to do the elasticated waist. And the problem, so you have the belt waistband that's like folded in half. You top stitch the top here. You top stitch the very top, and then you do the channels. And before you do the channels, you have to sew it down to the shorts in themselves. So this seam is very important, because if it's too high, then you don't have enough room for the elastics, which is what I was talking about earlier. And I did end up not having enough room, but by so much. Like, I have the pattern piece here, and this is, I showed also that earlier, this is the width it should be, and mine is like so much smaller. I'm missing almost a whole centimeter, so I don't know what I did wrong. I don't think I did anything wrong, because I followed exactly the measurements. Even when she said stitch 2 millimeters to the edge or fold over 1 centimeter, I was like, wow, 1 centimeter, that's a lot. Maybe it wasn't 1 centimeter, but I don't know. So yeah, and then you have to sew the belt on, I mean, you sew one side first, and then you have to sew the other side of the sandwich by going over all the stitching you have in the inside, but you stitch from the outside. So then you don't know if you're catching the back side or not when you're stitching from this side. And of course I wasn't half of the time, even though I was so careful. I mean, so careful. I took like 30 minutes to pin down the thing, so that when I sewed from the inside, I would really catch from the outside, I would really catch the inside. It didn't work. I had to start over so many times. And the fabric, I discovered that the fabric is actually pretty fragile, and it gets caught on everything, even my nails, so I did snag a few threads here and there. And at the end, when I had to feed the elastic through, the elastic is too big, but it's very thin, so at least it's folded in half. So now this is very thick, because the elastic is folded in half everywhere, but at least it went through, so I can have finished shorts. I didn't have to go back and buy a thinner elastic, but it's very bulky, and it's not the nicest, but anyway. So when I fed the elastic through, I had to, of course, sew it together. And I tried it on, you saw that earlier, I tried it on when I had one elastic to make sure of the sizing and all of that, and it was really too big, it was baggy, and it was falling down, so I decided to cut just 2 centimeters, 1 inch of the elastic before I sewed it together, which I did on all the 3 elastics. And then I tried it on, and it was too small, because of course when you have more elastics you have more tension, and then it got smaller. I knew it could happen, but I decided it wouldn't, but of course it did, so I had to undo all my elastics closure, add the little bit I had cut, but then I lost a little bit of length, of course, because I had to overlap them. And so I have two places where the elastics are sewn together, so it adds quite a lot of bulk on the back. And where it's sewn down like this, it doesn't fold in half. So when I went to close the channels on the back, because I inserted the... This is gonna fall off. I inserted the elastics from an opening I left here on all 3 channels, and when I went to close it, of course, I sewed over the elastic because it didn't want it to stay folded, even though I pinned it, because it was too bulky. So now the back doesn't ruffle anymore because it's sewn on the elastic. So at least now I have an easy way to tell the back from the front. But yeah, I have this flat bit here that doesn't do the nice ruffle, and it's really annoying me. I tried my best, I pinned it down, I did everything, but it just didn't want it to stay that way. So yeah, and also because it was very bulky, because the elastic was folded, my fabric kept snagging on the feeding dogs, and now the fabric is destroyed. I'm not sure it's gonna show, but it's very visible. I have those snags everywhere because of the bulk. I couldn't pass it through the foot without snagging on the feeding dogs, and it's just tiny finishing stuff that broke everything, and I'm just so annoyed. I wrote down on the pattern piece, the waist pattern piece guide, I wrote down to cut it bigger next time, or to get a smaller elastic, so that if I do this pattern again, I know I need to account for the fact that I apparently cannot sew and I need to have a bigger belt so that I can pass the elastic through. Yeah, and the last thing I did is I did stitch the sides of the pockets. So now the opening of the pocket is this big, but it goes down there. So I have this much closed, and that way if I put something in the pocket, it stays inside. And I promise this step is not in the pattern, so I don't know if it's in the video that I didn't watch because it's from another pattern, but it should be in the written pattern. But other than that, it's beautiful. I'm super happy about the result. If you watch it from afar, it's gorgeous. I haven't tried it on yet without my pants on, so I'm gonna film that later and you will see at the end of the video. But I just hope I'm gonna forget about all the things that went wrong, and just remember that from afar, which is the main point, they look gorgeous. And also, there are a few things that I'm really proud about. For example, the seam in the crotch aligns so perfectly. Like, can you see this? It's so perfect, even on the inside. Look at that. My seams are nested perfectly. I'm so proud. And same for the edges of the pockets. It's very clean. I'm really happy about that. At least there are a few things that went super well. Look at this. Of course it's black fabric, so you cannot see a lot of stuff, but yeah, the seams are perfect. Oh, I love it. I think my memory card is full, so I'm gonna have to empty it before filming the conclusion. But yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for coming along with me on this adventure, and I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you back again next week for normal knitting content. Probably wearing this. Oh, I'm still happy. I'm still very happy and proud of myself. But I'm glad it's done. Okay, thanks. Bye.